Have you ever come home from an RV trip and realized that your favorite memory had nothing to do with how many miles you drove?
Maybe it was sitting outside with a cup of coffee. Maybe it was taking a walk around the campground, spending time by the lake, or simply having an afternoon where you didn't have to look at the clock.
That's exactly what we're talking about today. If you've been following our 333 RV Travel Guidelines, today we want to focus on one part of that equation, staying 3 nights. And there's probably no better place to demonstrate why that matters more than Shenandoah Crossings.
Shenandoah Crossing is our most recent RV trip, and it's here close to us in Virginia.
The first thing I want to point out about a 3 night stay is that the first day doesn't really have to be a sightseeing day. You can arrive before 3 p.m.
You
You
can
can
get
get
set
set
up,
up.
you can take a breath, and instead of immediately thinking about where you're going tomorrow, getting that truck ready, getting set up, and getting ready to go somewhere, you can actually enjoy where you are today. That's one of the biggest reasons I like the 333 concept. Or
You're
we like
not
the
racing. Yeah,
we like the
yeah.
333 concept.
And then it's not, you're not racing into the campground late in the afternoon, setting up in the dark, and then packing everything back into the next morning. You have time. And here at Shenandoah Crossing,
There's plenty to see, and hopefully, as we go through this video, you'll be able to see all the stuff that we were able to see. Now, where do we get this campground? We got this campground. We went to Bass Pro Shop, and they sold us on one of those. Yeah, let's stop by and visit this resort. And I said, "Do you have RV?" They said, "Yeah, we got RV." So it's part of Hilton. It's Bluegreen, by the way, but the Shenandoah Crossing is their RV resort that they have attached to the hotel, and it's pretty nice. Now you don't have to be a part of Blue Green to visit the place. You can actually rent there nightly, and that's what we ended up doing. For clarification, the visit was a Blue Green Vacations promo, which cost us $250 at Bass Pro Shop. We got a $50 credit card on the day of the purchase. We received another $50 credit card for booking the visit within 2 weeks. And then once we arrived, we had to sit for a 2-hour promo presentation, but by sitting there, we got a $150 card. So, and overall cost of it, it ended up being a total of about $18 per night for 4 nights and 5 days at the campsite, which was a pretty good deal for staying there and what the amenities that were offered at the campsite. And I only had to pay a very minimal cost for all of what we experienced at the campsite. So in the interest of clarity, had to put that in there.
now day two is where the 3 night stay really starts to pay off. Okay. In day two, you're already set up. You don't have to hook up the truck. You don't have to worry about departing time. You have an entire day to explore the entire campground.
And at Shenandoah Crossing, it has a lot more than just the RV sites. It has cabins. It has yurts. There's recreational areas. There's the general store. There's swimming pool. There's a horse stable to ride horses. And there are so many things that you might not expect to find at an RV destination, like a life-size chessboard in a large shuffleboard area behind the general store. It's a nice picturesque area, and hopefully some of the videos that we have, you'll be able to see it.
Take this giant chessboard, for example. This is the kind of thing you can easily walk right past if you're rushing through the campground. But when you have 3 nights, you have time to stop. You can look around. You can take it all in. The same thing goes for the large shuffleboard area behind the general store.
Yeah.
Also,
These are small things, but there's a part of what makes the destination more than just a place to park your RV. It has so much more to offer.
there's also a horse stable in Shenandoah Crossing. Whether horseback riding is something you normally don't do, It's another example of varying things
That's it.
around here that you
Yeah.
can do around the campground.
And again, this is where staying 3 nights changes the experience because you're experiencing the place, you're seeing everything. If you're only staying 1 night, you're probably thinking about getting in, getting settled, and I know I am, and getting back on the road. But with 3 nights, you can actually ask yourself, what do I want to do while I'm here? Do I want to do the horseback riding? Do I want to stay in yurts? Do I want to go golfing? Do I want to go fishing? Do I want to go cast my line? What do I want to do?
Yeah,
You have
without rushing to do anything.
all
So
those choices.
Shenandoah Crossing also offers cabins and yurts. And I think it's worth showing these because they give you a sense of how different people can experience the same destination.
Not everybody arrives in an RV, and that's the truth. Some people are looking for a cabin, and others might want to do something a little different, like a yurt. But regardless of how you stay, the same thing applies. Same idea applies. Slow down and stay a while. And let's talk a little bit about the yurt. I like the yurts. I like the cabins. I like the smell of the wood of the cabins. I like the picturesque, in the trees. It's just a nice view. What do you think about
Yeah, I think the same thing. I've never been in one before. This is my first time being in a yurt. So I took my time to explore it in detail, and I really like the setup. It's kinda like a cabin, in a sense, but you're in the woods, you're up high, and you're looking out in the surrounding area, so it was pretty nice.
Yeah, and I know for us, if we decide to come back with the family to this place, they had a cabin that could fit about 12 people. We can bring the kids and the grandkids and everybody can stay there. But I know for us, we would still bring the RV. We'll be in our Airstream, at the RV park, and the kids can walk over from the yurt, the grown kids, because we know that the grandkids, they're going to
They're
be
gonna
with us.
wanna
They're going to be with us inside of the trailer enjoying themselves. And then when we cook, they're going to want to be with us rather than with their parents. So yeah, it's a great place for larger families to enjoy themselves also.
And then you get to day 3. This might actually be the favorite part of the 333 guideline because by day 3, you're no longer thinking about arrival. You're not just thinking about the setup. You're not thinking about what has to happen tomorrow morning. You're settled.
You know where everything is in the park. You know where the general store is. You know where the pool is. You know where you've been to the lake. You know where the lake is. You walked around the campground. In our park, you've driven around the campground on a golf course because you can rent golf carts there. And now you can simply enjoy being there.
Maybe you sleep in a little later in the day we
Mhm.
did the second day. Maybe you have a leisurely breakfast. Maybe you take another walk. Maybe you spend time by the water. Or maybe you don't do anything at all, and that's okay too.
I like the nothing at all.
Yes, because you've earned that.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Just to sit back.
Yeah,
Today,
that was enjoyable.
today I'm not doing anything at all. Hoo-hoo.
Okay, Bruno. Bruno Mars.
Now, that's really the bigger idea behind the 333 travel guidance that we've been going through. It's not just about driving 300 miles. It's not just about arriving before 3 p.m. It's not just about the numbers. The 3-night stay is what allows the first 2 parts of the guideline to really work. You travel a reasonable distance, you arrive in enough time to get settled, and then you give yourself enough time to enjoy the place you travel to the sea. Because if we're honest, isn't that why most of us travel anyway in the first place? We want to see places. We want to explore things. We want to make memories, making memories. And sometimes the best memories happen when we're not trying to make memories. It happens when we're not doing anything at all, but enjoying the family. And that's the thing. Right? It's just enjoying the family.
Yeah, because I like to roller skate, so I took my roller skates, but I do not advise anybody to roller skate because it's a bunch of hills and you're
Yeah.
going faster than expected.
Yeah. A good thing you brought your elbow pads and your knee pads this time, so you
Yes.
did hit the ground.
Yes, I did.
That's funny. That's funny. It's really funny.
So unless you can find a flat space to skate on there, it would be great for roller skates and things like that.
And didn't they had on the as part of the warnings on some of the hills, they wouldn't allow you to go down the skateboards or roller skates or anything like that. But you could be on your bicycle or you can be on the golf carts. But
Yes, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
So Shenandoah Crossing is a great example of what we're talking about with the 333 RV Travel Guideline. 300 miles or so, arrive before 3 p.m., and then stay 3 nights. Because when you stay 3 nights, you're not just stopping, you're actually experiencing Shenandoah Crossing.
And enjoying the journey is what it's all about. And that's the difference. Experience it. The goal isn't to see how far you can go. The goal is to enjoy the journey along the way. I like saying that, enjoy the journey. So I'd love to hear from you when you travel in your RV, how long you like to stay in one place, how long you like to stay. Are you one of those one night and go people, 2 nights and go, or do you prefer to stay 3 nights or even longer? Let me know in the comments. And if you're following along with this 333 RV guideline that we're delving into, this is one of the parts I really want you to think about. Don't just plan where you're going. Plan enough time to enjoy being there. And until the next time, travel safe, slow down, and enjoy the journey. Be free. You've reached this point in your life. Be free.
Reaching freedom.
Go and enjoy. Yeah. This has been Mitch.
And Pat.
And this is Reaching Freedom. And we'll see you next time. Out.
Out.